Alam mo, for those of you who have attended the Outlook last January 12, no? Again, Paolo was not here, but he was very much present in the events, no? Ang galing, Paolo, ng ginawa niyo, ano ha? You did a
Oh, thank
remote.
you.
Actually, naman live, no? It's a recorded video message, no? And we truly appreciated what you said during the time. And marami do sa mga guests natin, no, really were very, ano ba yun, they really, kumbaga, they admired the way that the event was done and organized. And from on behalf of UPLA, we would like to thank you for making us your partner association in the event. And we look forward, of course, to more collaborations with Is It Clean, right? So, Paolo, hindi na ako magpapatagal at kami excited na to hear what you have to say to all of us, no? So, I'll give you the floor. Go ahead.
Um, Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon sa mga nasa Pinas. So again, I'm Paolo Villanosa, and I helped Engineer Romy found Insit Clean many years back. And together we've went into this very insightful journey for the laundry industry over the last many years. Um, to give you a background muna, before I go to Is It Clean, bit about myself. So I'm a marketing professional, but also I'm the kind who specializes on data and research and consulting. So it's a weird special. So I finished my bachelor's in UP Diliman. Magka-school po kami ni Rohel. Although nasa arts, CFA, nasa College of Fine Arts yata si Rohel. I was on another college, and I took my master's in LaSalle. After I took my master's in marketing, no, I went through other courses because I wanted to specialize. So first, I did data science in LaSalle. It was a very short course, and then to complement that, I did futures thinking with sa Asian Institute of Management. So it was important because I was trying to specialize on marketing and strategic planning. Pero you cannot really do so much without data, and that's why I've been focusing in little by little towards data science. But at the same time, you have to make sense of everything that you're seeing, the numbers, the metrics you're analyzing. And so that's when I learned the world of futures thinking. It's more of a qualitative and imaginative way of doing strategic planning. And in fact, when I was still in the Philippines a few years back, no, I specialize in doing workshops, helping organizations just think about the future. So I did this for the American Chamber, for the United Association of Architects in the Philippines, for Hayworth, the furniture brand, and many more, like including my company then was Knight Frank. So what you're about to hear today it's a parang it's a merging of two worlds. No, we'll look at data, pero we'll also make sense of what the data and the stories tell us. At the same time, what what we have really uncovered sa research that we've done is more of what's the past been telling us, and from those ideas and insights, I will show you 8 predictions that we have at Is It Clean that somehow would tell us what the next 2 to 4 years of the textile care sector in the Philippines will look. So background of Is It Clean? I know many of you here sa call, so you for sure you already know this. We do a lot of stuff. Our main mission is to build leaders, the future leaders of the laundry sector. It's to help professionalize the sector, of course, in partnership with associations like UPLA, and also to just help strengthen or even raise the benchmarks and standards of the industry. We do a lot of stuff. Our bread and butter is training. So we do a lot of public, but also private training. We've trained over 1,000 executive housekeepers, laundry managers, and cleaners across 15 cities in the Philippines. So ito po yung map nyo dito sa right side, from Vigan all the way to Davao and Tagum. And we're hoping to go to Jensan, Bohol, La Union, Puerto Princesa, and Tacloban this year. At the same time, many of you might know now we also do independent audit of operators, meaning first, once a supplier has set up, usually operators get us to do an independent full audit. It could be on the operations or setup. So that's being done by Engineer Romeo Palega. Nag-open lang ng video now. And then we also advise end users and those na may OPL. So these are hospitals or hotels on operations, on outsourcing, on strategic business models that they can have for their laundry model. We are one of our missions then is to build communities of leaders. That's why we have an alumni network called the Whitelist. And for many members of the Whitelist na also members of UPLA, they get to see a lot of exclusive events for Whitelist only. At the same time, we help organize world-class events for the industry. One of those was in partnership with UPLA, was the Philippine Laundry Outlook in January. I hope you got invitations for those. We will be doing that annually. But we also do a lot of conferences, like we did the Davao National Conference, the Iloilo Clean Technology Conference, etc. We publish market data, as what I'll let you know. And lastly, and that just new, we are beginning to help scale up tech-enabled startups who are in laundry. So currently, we're incubating 3 startups now, from Tacloban to Manila, and we just closed one today. And that the goal is, as laundry is taking its trajectory in the sector, we're hoping to bring more technology into the platform and help widen that environment. So I begin siguro my presentation with some key numbers on the industry. When we were looking at these are all estimates now, so don't take this to T. But some numbers from the industry that are very interesting now for us and why we're doing the stuff we're doing. First, we estimate that every week Filipinos need to do 190 million kilos of worth of laundry or amount of laundry on a weekly basis. And this is based on population and household and the average number of dirty laundry they generate every week. This is huge, no? You can fill up siguro 25,000 garbage trucks across the Philippines every single week with just the dirty laundry that we have. And most of this, you would say, all of this are residential, no? Wala pa dito yung other institutional. Pero somehow, this laundry needs to be processed kasi maangamoy and all. And so, what's interesting is that, majority of this are now being processed in cities now. We have 30 million families just living in cities, and they're generating how much of dirty laundry, and much of that is being outsourced because as cities grow, as towns grow, people would rather allocate their time, even moms, for leisure and other stuff than do their own laundry. And so there comes the advent of the laundromat. Over the last 20 years, we've seen 20,000 shops currently and apparently open. But if you look at the ratio of the laundromat to families, it's just 1 is to every 500 families in cities, not outside urban areas. So this gives you a sense na, Paolo, para ang laki pala ng market, no? 1 every 700 families, 700 times 7 to 14 kilos per week. That's huge. Ang laki ng market. Pero what's interesting is that when you go to Facebook groups, you see a lot of competition, ito pababaan ng presyo, price war, etc. Which makes you think that if the numbers are telling this, why is the situation leading to price war? And bakit may mga nagsasara and may mga nakikwit sa laundry business? So that's one bucket of problem we're setting aside, and we'll tackle that later. The last number I want to show you is the volume of hotel laundry. if today we're at 100% capacity, which is hindi malabo every peak season, no? We need to wash today 1.6 million kilos of linens, and another 1.6 tomorrow. So it's a huge market, and much of this is now being outsourced, and that will be part of the stuff that I'll be discussing. So the volume is there, but we had key questions in mind when we were thinking about the research. And firstly, um, on top of our heads was competition. How is competition affecting demand and overall business? And ano yung mga strategies being done to mitigate this, and our laundromats closing, our laundry shops shifting to elsewhere, and how are operators generally adapting to market forces aside from competition? If you've gone to business school, you would have heard of Porter's five forces. No, competition is just one of the forces. There's barriers to entry, supplier negotiation power. So how is the industry and operators generally affecting those mechanisms? And the lastly is that, what's our outlook at Is It Clean for the next 2 to 3 years, or even 2 to 4 years until 2030? How are the shifts we're seeing now? How are they affecting sentiments? How are they affecting strategic actions? And ano yung mga potential choices that operators will make? So I won't go into the details of the answers to the questions. Though. What we'll do is we'll delve into the themes. So with the help of UPLA and our partners, no, we were able to achieve 260 plus laundromats. Yun yung full coverage of the research. That's across from Luzon to Mindanao. They're owned by 74 operators. And in essence, no, if I'm sure many of you here have done statistics, if you compute the margin of error against the population, we have a very comfortable 7% margin of error, which is very acceptable for a market research. So we'll take many of these insights into baka nga ito yung nangyayari. Our respondents are covered by, 50% of our respondents are in cities, specifically NCR and 4A. So ito po yung half, makikita nyo dun sa pie chart. In fact, we saw an opportunity. Now we'll just name this a supra region called NCR 4A. Later on, you'll see a lot of the breakdown ng charts will be on NCR 4A. We have like the other 25% are coming from other parts of Luzon. And then we have the rest 14% from, I think, Mindanao, 12% from the Visayas. If you look at geographic location of respondents by number of shops, you'd see na sa Visayas and Mindanao, they usually have 1 or 2 to 5. Yung pong mas marami yung portfolio of shops are found dito sa NCR 4A, which are more mature markets. Now, in terms of years of operations, more of our Mindanao respondents are fairly in the early stage. And in terms of daily capacity, there's exactly no defined definition for industrial laundry. But for the benefit of this research, we define industrial as anything that on a daily basis, capacity nila is 1,000 kilos. So below that, we term that laundromats. I know there's a lot of debate for this. Maybe it's opportunity for UPLA to fairly define what industrial means. But from our side, for the purpose of this, 80% of our respondents are laundromats, 20% are on an industrial level. So we from our end, we hired a group of research, obviously with us as providing clear direction, and we came up with 6 key findings that I think will be interesting for you. After these key findings, I'll give you 8 predictions that we have out of these key findings. So just be a bit patient to reach that section. First is we are presented with an oxymoron. Now, an oxymoron is something na parang you're saying this, saying that, so a bit of contradicting. There is confidence in demand, volume for laundry. Pero they are also cautious on competition, and it's growing. So it's a weird situation kasi usually when get demand, etc., usually dapat you also see competition is being a bit low or not so much. But in general, when we ask operators, have their volume increased 2024 2025, 63% said yes. 24%, only one-fourth said it actually declined, and 13% said it stayed the same. So in general, we see now volume is going up, and that's pretty positive. If you triangulate that with an outlook perspective, are laundromats optimistic about the industry? In general, only 10% are negative, and the rest are either they see it stable or positive. No? And gives you a beautiful picture of a optimistic sector. Na even the operators are very optimistic going forward. The challenge is that when we ask them what are the issues that are hounding them, competition is number one. Twin sila ng high cost utilities, which is increasing. And we feel that the story is this, no, na because laundromats are very neighborhood based, na they very geographic constrained. Na we feel na in general volume is increasing across the board. Because more outsourcing is going to laundry, but at the same time residential more outsourcing. Pero because ang nangyayari nga is in a neighborhood, yung kumare mo, kung makitang kumikita ka, the next year mag-open na siya ng sarili niyang business. And also because the barriers to entry have significantly declined. I'm sure many of you here work with financing companies who provide, financing to newcomers or even to yung mga meron ng laundromats and wanted to expand. Because financing has become very accessible. Barriers to entry in laundry has become significantly low. Na if you have just enough money, good credit score, you can come into laundry even without good knowledge of, paano ba talaga maglaba. There are no very high compliance issues. Wala ka naman special permit for this and that. And in fact, compliance is a big issue. So competition becomes a very, very significant challenge within a geographic. And because nga, laundry is very geographic driven. You don't expect na yung kumare mo sa 2 cities away na magpapalabas sa'yo. Except if, technology can aid into that picture. Pero currently, it's not. In fact, when we look at respondents levels, saan pinaka-intense yung competition from the perspective of the operator? It's in NCR 4A and Visayas. And the reason for Visayas is because most of our respondents are based in Iloilo and Cebu. Very, very urban centric, and competition is getting stiff there. So that's the case. In Mindanao, it's still a green pasture. It's a green field na ripe enough to develop more laundry. And in fact, what we'll argue is that yung North Luzon and other parts of Luzon and Mindanao are really ripe for the picking for laundry expansion. And related to number one, to the first theme, is the impact of competition on margins. No, volume can be there, pero volume can be there. However, if price is being pushed down by supply of the number of supply of operators, and in fact, we're seeing price war as we speak. It will impact ultimately margins and the bottom lines. I'm showing you two columns here. First is utilization rate. This is the utilization per by shop. No? So we computed this by asking people, ano yung convert mo yung cycles and all into daily capacity, and then convert them into ano yung average that's being used on a daily basis. And then we also asked them ano yung average price per wash dry per load. And what we find is that in two interesting pictures. When we look at utilization rate, the highest utilization comes in Luzon and 4A. And the reason is because we feel na the setups, two sets, three sets, mas mababa yung sets per sa mga provincial areas than in the city. Of course, mas mature yung markets in the city. You'd see more than 5 or even 10 sets, etc., or larger capacities. So mas matagal ma-fill to reach a higher utilization than in the provinces. And that would explain bakit sa Luzon, it's 72%, which is high. In 4A, it's 66%. In Manila, shops are only being used 50%, at any given time. Ganun lang po yung utilization. Now, look at average price. If you compare NCR and 4A, no, hindi siya malayo. Pero you'd notice and wonder, bakit sa NCR mas mura kaysa sa 4A? And the explanation we see is that it's not that 4A is expensive, it's that NCR prices is likely coming down. And then there are many anecdotes of this. When supply of operators offering the same thing, wash, dry, fold, is increasing, it will inevitably lead to price war. And in fact, one of our assumptions, or siguro hypotheses, is that had we done the research in 2024, we would have seen prices this 194.6 lower than a figure we would have gotten in 2024. So that's an interesting insight that we have. Also, for the first time, I think valuable yung data na to kasi for the first time, we have an average price that we can work with. People have been asking, ano ba yung presyo, ano yung presyo? So by asking a lot of operators, no, so at least we got this working average that we can work with for our benchmarks. Now, what are operators doing for this? First is overall, everyone's looking for new market segments. They're sniffing around for new stuff. Baka new markets to expand to. And that's the number one priority, specifically for those who are in early stage, meaning 0 to 3 years of operations, and for those na nasa Visayas and Mindanao, looking for new market segments. If you're established, of course, yung number one muna is expansion, opening new branches. In NCR, remember NCR 4A has a lot of competition that we're seeing. And so the NCR 4A, the focus is different. It's introducing more services. And where this is the story. Kasi one of the things that's driving price war is also wala nang differentiation. Pare-pareho na ng laundry services we're offering to everyone. But one way to differentiate is if you can expand and do more services that are outside yung usual WDF, wash, dry, fold. So people in NCR 4A, where competition is high, are exploring for new. In general, people are looking for new markets. And this is an interesting story we're seeing over and over the next few themes. And in fact, ang third theme namin, which is finding new green pastures, rightly sits into this strategic priority. Pero this is the irony. Even if people, so look at the two charts, no? The one on the yung lighter blue is 2025. Ito yung markets they focused on. In 2026, these are the markets they will focus on this year. So if you notice, they don't add up to 100% kasi an operator can also focus on two stuff, right? So, but what we found is this, no? Everyone wants to find new markets, and everyone, especially we've done 35 classes na in Isip Dream, everyone wants to go into the hotel market or even hospital. Pero in 2026, the jump to actually doing and focusing on it is not so high. It did jump up, but it's not so high. Like in hotels, I'm looking at 38% last year, and then 26, and then this year it's 42%. So I know that's 400 basis points, no, pero it's not the level of expectation that we had at Isip. In fact, sa hospital din hindi masyado. Now we are offered two explanations now. Firstly, people don't like to say na they'll focus on hospitals. So baka we see more, but they're not telling us. But at the same time, this could be also the bigger picture, no? Na ambition, there's a big gap between ambition and actually doing it and execution. And the reason could be a lot of reasons, myriad of discussions. First is, siguro laundromats are asking, how do I shift from doing just purely residential towards doing hotels? Hindi ko alam paano magbenta. Gaano ba sila katagal magbayad? Yung payment cycle is a bit longer there. Siguro 15 days, okay na, 30. Pero some reaches 60 days. So ang daming uncertainties. Second is, okay ba yung machine setup ko? Third is, do I have enough talent um, to fill in? Do I have the skills to address those very specific and discerning institutional requirements ng hotels? And so we feel people want to go there, pero they are hesitating to go there kasi reaching there feels just a bit uncertain and siguro ang daming questions along the way. And it's also the reason why at This Is Clean, we're just trying to give more knowledge and education about going into the institutional market. And that has been our key focus. Going to new markets is one, but also adding services is one. Remember na yung strategic focus of NCR4A operators was to add more services. And currently, many of operators are already telling us that they are into this already. For instance, almost half of our respondents are doing special items already. 1/3 are doing wet cleaning. 41% are doing dry cleaning. We're also seeing shoe cleaning. 1:5 ang ratio, and steam cleaning. So very interesting. No? We're seeing an expansion of services outside the usual wash drive. And we'll see this more and more. We'll see more specialty cleaning, specialty laundry shops opening up in various interesting business models. Now, I go back to the hesitancy problem. Na people want to go to hotels and hospitals, but the third biggest challenge for the industry and for operators specifically is finding reliable employees. Now, two things. Firstly, from the laundromat level, we see a lot of very low ang retention, especially if hindi mo naayos yung management, or you don't have really specific program for them. And it's not just the owner's problem, it could also be, baka problema din to ng mga kind of employees that we try to get. So finding employees is difficult, but it's also going to be very critical kasi scaling up will be very important as you go, as you jump from one market to another. One of our predictions is also that quality will be very important in the next 4 years. In fact, we ask them, if that's your biggest problem, what are the biggest customer complaints naman? And across the board, whether it's laundromats, early stage established, industrial laundry, it appears na yung items getting lost is the key problem. The third one is delivery logistics. But this can be addressed by systems and procedures and processes. The second one is more skill-based on the procedure of the actual processing of wash, yung mismo production na. Stains, yellowing, smell, graying. These are second, they consistently rank as the second biggest complaints ng customers against operators across the board, which is interesting for us. Which begs the question, guys, na marunong ba tayo talaga maglaba? If these are very recurring questions that operators have across. And what are we doing about this? Now, for suppliers here, you'd be very pleased to know na 42% wants to buy in the next 12 months. Pero whether that's bago or the secondary market is also robust and marami naghahanap ng second hand, that's also a key question. So we didn't do that breakdown. Only 16% didn't have plans to buy and expand. This is very interesting. It means that the dry powder for investing is there. But also, I've mentioned, if you remember, na financing has also been more accessible now Siguro nga mas mahal, siguro there are obviously risks, and those risks carry premiums that are passed on to operators. But accessibility wise, no question, it's there. And so intent is there, and intent is going higher. In fact, if we look at business stage, the ones who really wants to buy are two extremes. That's the extreme still of that chart. The ones na very in early stage, 1 to 3 years pa lang, and then yung mga 8+ years na in operations. So the ones in the middle are not so much. The ones in the end, yung matagal na, and also yung mga nagsisimula pa lang, they have highest propensity to buy. The last trend I want to discuss is this sustainability. There's a big disconnect. When we ask challenges, the first parang nagtatay sila with challenges, competition, is cost of utilities, and it's getting high. And obviously, it's getting water, etc. Pero when we ask them, are you practicing conservation measures? 54% no. That's interesting for us. In fact, when we also ask them if they use soft water, majority of them, 75%, don't use soft water. So there's a big disconnect na if you want to manage your utilities well, you should have conservation measures because laundry is using one of the water is a precious resource, energy is a precious resource. So to manage this and conserve this, you might need to proactively look into this. Now, it's also a function of suppliers, no? Does your equipment have these capabilities? Yung procedures mo and systems within your shops, do they have this? So it's also a big question of asking yourself and your team and your partners. Now, I go to the second part of my discussion, and just give me 10 to 15 more minutes to finish this talk. That's just half of our key findings. In futures thinking in our realm, we usually look at the past to see what's ahead. What you've heard are the past. These are sentiments, ito yung nangyari 2025 and so. And these are ito yung left side of what you're seeing on the screen. We're here today. So what we'd like, and we're more interested to know about is what could be the future. And one of the things we do as a futures thinking is look at signals. So signals are windows into the future. They're happening now, pero little by little, mga clues, the portions here, news, issues, etc. But they have huge potential to increase, and they will become disruptors in the future in the next 4 to 5 years. So I've just identified off the bat, some signals we're seeing at Exit Clean. Outsourcing, the rising number of mid-capacity machines na 15 to 25 kilos, more supplier brands coming in. In fact, we know a lot, at least 2 brands coming in this year. Linen rental, growing urbanization, automation is there, price war, the severe lack of competitive advantage, and unfortunately, a lot of partners and suppliers don't even help operators to figure this out at the onset. Talent as a challenge, VCs coming into laundry, and tech enablement. No? From here, we predict 8 stuff that are likely to happen in the laundry sector. The first is outsourcing will either be a tsunami or a rising tide in the provinces. We are expecting 40,000 new hotel rooms to come in the next 3 to 4 years. This is huge. This will add 200,000 kilos of additional demand on a daily basis to what is already 1.6 million. And this is a huge number. As the Department of Tourism pushes for more hotels to open, hotel supplies will increase. And because hotels will now tend to focus on core business, because this will increase competition for tourism and hospitality, they will want to push out laundry because they'd like to maximize real estate. Also, they want to focus on their core business. There is a model, obviously, of yung parang concessionaire where bibigyan ka pa rin ng real estate sa hotel, but outsource na yung operator. No? So that is being done also. An engineer can share more of that. No. We will see likely this happening in Davao. There's a hotel there that's about to open, huge number of rooms. Most of them are outsourcing, in Cebu as well. So hotels will likely keep will likely adopt hybrid model, may konti pa ring laundry for guests. Pero inevitably, I spoke with Accor's head of development just a few months back, ang mandate talaga is for everything to do outsourcing na for laundry. And this will be inevitable. So outsourcing will be a rising tide, not just on hotels, pero on hospitals. Let's look at Davao alone. In Davao, one or two hospitals pa lang nagpapalaba. Pero our estimate is that in 2-3 years, majority of those will now shift towards outsourcing. In Iloilo, that's also happening based on our market research now. The next wave kasi of outsourcing is linen rental na, pero that might be a long way ahead for those na nasa provinces. The second prediction that we have is the growth of the middle class. Hindi po to tao. These are the mid-tier, mid-capacity machine that's going across the market now, 15, 25 kilos. And they are priced very good. We've always said that is it clean, that there's a huge gap sa market. The ones which are, pang laundromat level, and then the ones na very industrial. No one is filling the stuff in between at prices that could cover most of the market segments, no? From premium down to budget. No? Our prediction is that in the next 2 to 3 years, no, we'll see more hybrid laundromats who can do hotel laundry well, pero whose machines are not very huge enough, as you would see siguro sa Kalinisan, walang tunnel, or even some of those na 10 kilos, etc. They would likely be from 1,000 siguro to 5,000 to even 7,500 capacity on a daily basis. The third is, it's interesting kasi we predict a severe commodification of the equipment sector for laundry. No? What does commodification mean? No? Currently, there are over a dozen equipment brands, and I've mentioned to you at least 2 are getting launched or relaunched in the Philippines this year. That's aside from new SKUs ng equipment. But the reality is that in a normal market, when you have so many brands competing for the same market, ang tendency nito is product, and when products become indistinguishable na yung differences lang nila ay ito very small, no? Inevitably, competition shifts to cost leadership. Magiging presyo lagi ang batayan. And kung presyo ang batayan, nagiging very severely commodified ang equipment. We're only talking about sa equipment. Now let's talk about sa agency, the guys who are selling the equipment. When everyone is preaching the same thing, when everyone is putting out this education events just to push laundry equipment, etc. That's not bad at all. That helps the attendees understand the business. Pero if we're offering the same thing, if we're marketing the same thing, if all dozen equipment brands are saying the same thing, inevitably in a few years' time, when market is incredibly increasing, magiging commodified na pong equipment and magiging very relationship based and very cost based ang decisions ng mga ng next wave of buyers. So that is concerning. But our recommendation is service providers, as early as now, must revisit their differentiation. Understand ano yung competitive advantage. Hindi lang yung ano yung binebenta nila, pero also kung ano yung other extra services that they're offering. Kasi if this is the same as 20 other agencies and distributors across the Philippines doing the same thing over and over to the same market, there's a big overlap and inevitably ito po yung mangyayari. Now, I go to the third, and this is similar. No? We will see, matagal na namin ito sinasabi, we will see MaaS soon. Machine as a service, equipment as a service, equipment as a rental product. No longer something that you put into your CapEx, pero you put as liability as an expense, no? It makes it makes your just assets very light. And why do we believe this will happen soon? First, in hotels, rental is now being sorry, linens are now being rented out. It's already happening in linens, no? Linens, before, hindi natin ma-imagine na ipaparenta mo yung linens sa hotel and sa hospital. Obviously, iba yun, no? Iba yung, pero it's interesting kasi when a big capex item like linens are being rented out, what prevents us from seeing machines being rented out in the future? This is already happening in the food service and kitchen industry. Ovens are being rented out. And so that brings that lightens up your books, etc. And just in essence, it's already happening. No? If you got a big financing from a certain company, and then you pay this amount. Let's say you pay 50,000 a month against those as a mortgage or on the rent on the repayment of that loan. It's almost the same as rental. It's just that in financing, the risks are a bit different. No, in rental, the risk is passed on to to the team that's renting out to you. It's also happening in corporates. Laptops are now being rented out in corporates. No, my previous company in Knight Frank, yung laptop namin pinapalitan every 2 years kasi rental na siya. So may premium doon pero wala na maintenance, wala na ding abala. Yung IT team doesn't need to do that. If machine becomes a service, it solves a lot of problems of operators. First, maintenance, etc., and then questions baka pwedeng palitan. Obviously, the mechanisms of this will evolve, and we don't have yet a case. There could be one or two here in the Philippines, pero it's something that needs to scale up. Pero will be an interesting trend in the future. We'll also likely see manless laundromats, no? When I went to Singapore, I went to a laundromat, walang tao. I just needed a card and just tapped, and then I even had my shoes cleaned there. Pero binantayan ko lang siya, and after a while it's done. So if there are driverless cars, maybe in the future, siguro after 5 years, we'll see manless laundromats. And it's also because talent is a big, talent labor is something that we're still figuring out sa laundry. If you remove that labor, how would that impact yung laundromat operations? Will that be better? Will that streamline everything? Can you scale up quickly? And yung scaling up quickly is actually one of the benefits dito din sa MAAS. Na if yung budget mo is this lang kasi nga nire-renta mo, maybe you can set up 3 shops in a year rather than do 1 shop this year kasi nga you're putting all your budgets and investments into buying the machine instead of getting rent. The 6th prediction is the death of the wash dry fold. This is obviously an exaggeration, no? Pero if price war continues, I know someone malapit sa Resorts World, sa barangay doon, wash dry, everything is 99 pesos. And yung turnaround time is 5 days kasi nga sobrang bagsak presyo. And yung pila na laundry is hanggang sa labas. Friends are just telling me that. But if this continues, this is not a sustainable trend for the industry. And this will prevent a lot of people to come into that. Baka makuryente din sila. And so we'll see, instead of a wash dry fold, we'll see a massive evolution outside this model. More service, or maybe baka complementing it with more industrial machines sa likod para they can cater to institutional. So they will have to rethink their business models kasi it could be earning now, but in the few years' time, who knows? 7th prediction is we'll see a PhD in laundry science. This is obviously another exaggeration, but as skills are required to be raised because we're now veering for quality, we have more demand, competition is just tighter. Certifications we will have one. We've already talked with one in Malaysia. They're doing certifications in the UK just for laundry shops in Malaysia. So yung higher standards of education and quality will be there. And lastly, laundry as the next unicorn. we feel na we saw in a post-pandemic, we saw more money coming into laundry ventures now, whether that's tech-enabled or yung mga basic traditional models. And we likely see this in who knows, in the next few years, baka may the next Philippine unicorn is a laundry shop, a laundromat, or a laundry app. So who knows? So before I end, Rohel, I just want to share with everyone na we're going to Cebu, and we're doing a series of classes there and roundtables for the hospital industry and also for laundromats industrial. In fact, we're doing one on February 26th. This is on workflow, featuring one of the colleagues in Engineer Romy, Ms. Purissima Gupit, who will talk about the hotel laundry process. So if you want to join there, you can scan it or let me know. Okay, that ends presentation. Thank you very much for listening. Rohel?
All right, maraming salamat, palakpakan for Paulo. Thank you so much, Paulo, for sharing all that information. Very rich, very comprehensive, no? And I know that if we can look forward to even more comprehensive reports in the years to come, because this is the first time, right, Paulo, that we have done this.
Yep.
And I'm very optimistic that in the next coming years, we will be able to even get more specific information out of our surveys and really guide the industry in the Philippines to pursue many different opportunities. No?
Yeah.
So
and thank you, Rohel,
yeah, sure.
Thank you very much to UPLA for supporting us through this. It's very new. It's a new idea. It's a very radical idea to have a market research for laundry, no? Kasi akala nila laba-laba lang tayo. No, this is an industry that needs data, and that we need to start somewhere. And thank you to UPLA for supporting us here.
You're more than welcome. It's an honor for us to support your initiatives. And again, we look forward that we can even make this much more comprehensive than it is now. And syempre, we're learning, we're doing this for the first time. It's a pioneering effort. And I know that this coming few years, we will even see more comprehensive coverage of the industry. And that's one thing that on behalf of UPLA, we can really say our full support in terms of getting the data that we need and analyzing it properly for the industry. Okay.